So we live so much by images, that so entirely by images that we don't even recognize it. It's like the fish doesn't recognize the water that he's swimming in. You're immersed in it. That's why people have trouble with the idea of consciousness, because consciousness, we're entirely immersed in consciousness. There's nothing else but consciousness. So we can't see it, because it's everything that we see and that we know and that we experience. But instead of identifying with consciousness, which is the fundamental ground of being, we identify with symbols and images, right? So we talked about the ever-changing series of images of myself throughout the day. We gave examples of that, and we also then we have to speak about how those images are based on our imagination of the images others have of us. So our behavior and our development, who we become, is entirely based on our imagination or perception of the images we imagine others to have of us. That's how we direct our values and our goals and our basic behavior. It's these social expectations. So we have an image then that society presents to us from early childhood, and then continually builds upon itself, and because we're so conditioned, we're and we don't recognize this process is going on, because it's the fish swimming in the water. We are continually adapting ourselves to social expectations of us, the proper role, the proper status, the proper lifestyle, the proper group to belong to, the proper ideology, the correct political identification. Our sense of nationality, our sense of patriotism. These are all images. The flag, it's just a rag with colors on it, but it's become this tremendous symbol of an image that we imagine that we're part of. All the roles that we play in society are images that we perpetuate to give us a sense of belonging and to flee from that solitude, that aloneness. So we see not only the images throughout the day that are continually changing, but that they are conditioned entirely upon the imagination of the images that how others see us, and how we believe others see us. So all our behavior is conditioned in this way. This is our history, this is our story, this is our narrative, and this is our fantasy. It's not the reality. They're just all transient, passing phenomena. There's nothing fulfilling about any of those single statements. I'm an American, or I'm a good father, or a good mother, or I'm a success, financial success. There's nothing fulfilling about any of those. They're only temporary gratifications, but yet we identify completely with them, one after another, after another, after another. So there's no, we're missing the point. There's no true core sense of self or stability. Because we're always seeking, we're endlessly seeking to generate meaning through identification with these images and symbols of culture. So then, if all this is true, freedom begins with a rejection of the identification with passing images, and understanding the true, enduring nature of intelligence, which is simply awareness, which is simply sensitivity and attention to what is right now, right here, and going into that.